Hi, it's Kelly again from Respectful Parent, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about how to stop yelling, how to pause and be mindful before you react to your child. So someone wrote in and asked this question: how do I stop being too reactionary? I feel like I'm being too harsh sometimes. So one of the things that I was talking about on how to keep my cool is problem ownership. So this is a model I use. PET uses this model for their whole framework, and for me it has become kind of a self-awareness model. So when I am able to think who owns the problem, then I can stop and think, well, how do I want to react? Because when I'm conscious of who is owning the problem, I can make a conscious decision of how I want to react. So here's the framework. So we've got the child owns the problem, there's no problem, or I own the problem. So what does that mean? Well, when someone owns a problem, they have an effect on them. There's some sort of effect. So you say, no, your child can't have the cookie. They're the ones that don't get the cookie. They have the tangible effect. There's a puddle on the bathroom floor. The tangible effect is on me. I could go in and slip and fall. Well, anyone could really, but I'm the one that's upset about it. So whatever the tangible effect is on me is who owns means I own the problem. If the effect's on the child, they own a problem. So there are cues and clues to distinguish whose problem is it. So a child is crying, they own a problem. They're retreating to their room, they go up, slam the door, they yell at you, they hate you. These are all indications that your child owns a problem. You may not like the way they're behaving, but first and foremost, the skill when a child owns a problem is to listen to them, to reflect back what they think, what you think they might be feeling. So, for instance, my daughter was upset because I didn't want her to have a cookie. She started crying and she was really, really angry at me, which was the reaction was stronger than the answer I gave her. So I started listening to her and I said, wow, you really want this cookie? You're really mad about this? And she said, yeah, because I never get the cookies. And I said, so you're worried you won't get it at all? And she said, yes, Daddy always eats the cookies when he gets home, and there's only one left, and I know he's going to eat it. So now I had more information. I understood that she wasn't just mad she couldn't have the cookie. She thought Dad was going to eat it, and she had her eye on that cookie. So I said, okay, so you're worried that Dad's going to eat the very last cookie, and you're going to get nothing. And she goes, yeah. And she paused for a minute, and she goes, I'm going to hide it. So she went and hid it in the freezer, so she knew where it was, and then she got to have it after dinner instead of before dinner like she wanted. So I didn't have to really do much except kind of reflect back what she was thinking and let her hear aloud. So that was when the child owned the problem. When I own the problem, I have to stop and think, do I want to yell at my child? Do I want to punish them? Do I want to impose some sort of consequence on them? If that's the case, typically I own a problem. And when we yell or we punish or we do any of these kinds of things, that doesn't foster cooperation. It doesn't make the child want to help you. They may help you anyway but they're doing it for themselves. They're doing it because they want something, the treat or the reward, or they want to get away from the treat or the reward, rather than doing it because they want to help you and they don't want something bad to happen to you. So when I own the problem, I can stop and think, okay, I'm feeling pretty mad. I must own this problem. And then I can stop and either calm down before I talk to them, or if I'm already fairly calm, just recognizing early on that I own a problem, then I can say, hey, there's a puddle in the bathroom floor from your bath, and I'm really worried I'm going to slip and fall, and I sure don't want that to happen. So I'm just simply stating that you're concerned that you're going to fall and you don't want to hurt yourself. So now they can understand. They have more information. They know exactly what's wrong. It's not the bathroom's a mess. There's a puddle on the floor, and they know that you don't want to fall. And they most likely don't want you to fall either. They don't want bad things to happen to you. But when you stop and talk this way and you don't order them, clean up that puddle, you don't engage in that power struggle that's the push and the pull and somebody wins and somebody loses. It's just cooperation. So that happened to me last night. As I said, hey, there's a puddle on the floor. I'm worried I'm going to fall. And my daughter said, oh yeah, remember that time Grandma sprained her ankle? And she ran out, got a towel, mopped it up, and then dropped the towel on the floor. So I had another problem. So I said, okay, so I'm really grateful you cleaned up that puddle. Now I won't fall. I'm also a little bit worried now that I'm going to have to hunt for this towel when it's time to do laundry. And she kind of went, Fine. So that indicated to me that she had a little bit of a problem, but it wasn't so much that she didn't do it. But I still said, yeah, I know, you're already doing a lot of work, now you have to do something new. And she said, yeah, fine. And she did it, and she went and dropped it in the laundry basket, and it was done. So that is my tool of calming down, is asking myself who owns the problem. And that way I don't react too harshly and end up beating myself up over it, because we all do that. You feel bad when you're too harsh. So that's my tip of the day. I will see you next week. I hope that helped. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.